Let's talk about introduction to Red Hat Enterprise Linux and command line. So today the topic is viewing the content of the text file. So in order to view the content of a text file, we use the command cat, tag, tail, head and more. The cat command would display the content of the file by dumping it to the screen, but the tag command would dump the content of the file, but you can see the entire content would be placed in reverse way. That is, the last line of the file would be placed in the first line and the entire content would be placed after that, and the first line would be there in the last part of the file. The tail command would display the last 10 lines of a file, whereas the head would display the first 10 lines of a file. The more command will open a plain text file viewer. In the viewer, you can browse the file using page down key as well as page up key or space bar. So more command would be showing you with the slider bar. So here is an example of how to do this. So in this example you can see that I have used the command head and I have asked to display the file etc password. So under etc directory there is a file called password and I have asked to display the content of that password file. Since I have used the command head, as you know, it will display the first 10 line of that password file. So it is showing me all the user passwords which are registered under that file. Similar way I can use the command head -4 etc password. So here this -4 denotes that instead of 10 line I want to show only 4 lines. So you can check here, only 4 line of that particular file is been fetched and it is shown to you. And there is another command called head -c14. Now this -c14 determines how many bytes of the file I have to display here. So you can check here, only 14 bytes of that file would be displayed on the screen. Then going for the command cat. Now the cat command would also do the same thing. It would display the content of the file. So I have used cat etc resolve.config. So that resolve.config is a file under etc directory and this is containing these 3 lines. So cat command has just shown it. Now similar way cat command can also be used to create a new text file. So I'll use the cat command and then I will be using greater than symbol and I have used winter.txt and I have typing the content. I'm typing the content of the file that it is a very cold day. So this very cold day would be stored in winter.txt file. So I can just display the file like cat winter.txt. So it will be showing me the content of that winter.txt on the screen. So cat command can also be used to create a new file and store the content in it, and it can be also used to display the content of the file. And there is another way to create a file, and that is called as that is to create an empty file, and this can be done by using a touch command. The touch command creates a 0-byte file. As you can see in this example, first I have listed ls-l. It is listing me all the files in the current directory. And now you can check here, I have used touch and I have given the file 42. So this is the file name. I have given touch file 33. And you can see again I am listing out ls-l. So you can see that under the current directory you can check 2 files are created with the name file 33 and file 42, but you can see that the total byte of the file is still 0. So going for the next is piping and redirection. So the piping is used to send the result of a command to another command. So basically it happens that I execute one command, I don't want to stop there, I want to move the output of that command to another command. So this can be done by using this piping symbol. So here is one example. I have used ps aux, then I use the pipe symbol that would redirect my command to another command, and this command is less command. So less command would display the content of that particular command which is executed in a format and would display me in less manner. So the command provides, so here you can see ps, this command is used to display the process as it is shown here. What do you mean by that? AUX. A, it will show process for all users. U, it will display the process user as well as the owner, and X will show the process that are not attached to your terminal also. So means other than your terminal, in all what all processes are running, that will all be shown to you. So it will show all the processes that are currently running on your computer by using this command ps aux, and I have just asked it to move to the ls command. So ls command would display the content of that particular file. And then command, then there is next thing called redirection. Now redirection is what it sends the output of a command to a file, and this file can be a text file or it can be a device file. So again I have used the same command ps aux, and here I have used the greater than symbol, and then I have asked it to move to the current directory since still is a current directory, and in current directory I have a file called ps output.txt. so this text file is there, and I have asked this command to execute and move all the content or the output of this file under ps output.txt. so this is done by using this greater than symbol. Then redirection can happen in a number of different ways. One is redirecting output to a file. So that is output of the content of the file can be redirected to a file. So one of the example is already given here, that is ps aux greater than symbol tilde ps output. And here you can see another example as well. So like here I have created cat winter.txt. so this cat file is the winter.txt file is already having a content. It's very cold today. Then I have asked it or redirected it to another one text file that is cold.txt. so you can check the content of the winter.txt is redirected to cold.txt. so all the content of this file would be moved to cold.txt. so it is very cold today, that is the content of winter.txt. I can check the cold.txt content now. so I have given cat cold.txt, and you can find out that cold.txt is holding the content of winter.txt. so whatever content of this file is there, that is moved to the next file. Then similar way, instead of moving the entire content to a new file, if I want to append the output to a file, I can use double greater than symbol. So here already there is an example, cat winter.txt is already there, it's cold today. Then I have asked echo where is the summer. So this is what I am asking it to add it to the winter.txt. so I have used the double greater than symbol in between. And you can check here again, I have asked to display the content of winter.txt by using the command cat winter.txt. so you can check here already the content was there, it is cold today, and a part of it there is, you can see the content where is the summer is also added to that file now. so this acts as an redirection operator which is appending the content to a new file. Then you can use redirection to act as an input stdin. so in case I want to send a mail message and I have my mail message in a text file, so I can use the command mail -x -s hello world, and I've asked to get that content from mail content.txt. so in my current directory I have the file mail content.txt, and I am using the less than symbol here to move the content of this file to the mail message. so the redirection is happening as input. Then the third way is separating the error from std out. Normally it happens that if you are a root user, then you can check the error file, but if you are not a root user, you cannot check the error file. so in order to check the error file, you can do is you have to give this command find. I have given slash, that defines it's a root directory. Under the root directory I have asked to check the root file system, and whatever error is there, that would be moved to error.txt. So errors that are generated would be moved to error.txt file. So that is another redirection. Then you can redirect output to a device file. Now there are a lot of device files which are available in Linux. So one is device null. So that is a null device, and you can redirect if you want to redirect nothing to it, so you can just move to /dev null. Now the device if I want to generate zeros there, or when you want to create a large empty file, then I'll be using /dev/0. And if I want to address the first serial port, then I'll use /dev/ttys0. I can also define the consoles, the text-based console or terminals, by using /dev/tty. So in Linux there are some 12 terminals. They are addressed as tty1 up to tty12. And then there is some device storage areas like /dev/sda. So this is your first SCSI SAS or serial ATA or USB disk device in your computer. And you can also have a secondary one like /dev/sdb. So that defines the secondary SCSI or serial ATA device in your computer. So here is an example of how to redirect your output to a device file. Now I again use the cat command. I have asked the cat output of the file to be redirected to the device terminal file, that is terminal 12. So I have given the command cat /etc/password, and I have used the greater than symbol, and then I have given device /tty12. So this will move the output of the password file into terminal 12. The next is cloning device using output redirection. We can redirect the content of the storage device by using a redirection. So how to redirect the content of storage device? Already we have seen the storage device are there in SDA and SDB. So I have used the command cat /dev/sda, and I'm using the greater than symbol /dev/sdb. So this shows that I'm moving the content of SDA to SDB. So all the files in SDA would be moved to SDB. But whenever you're doing redirection to a devices, that can be dangerous. For example, here you can check, here I have used cat etc password, and I have redirected it to dev/sda. Now when you do this, now what happens is the content of this file would be overwritten on this dev/sda file, and dev/sda is actually a disk file, so it would be overwritten and it may result in some inappropriate content into your device file. So better is, instead of using such redirecting command to device which are dangerous, we can clone the device by using another set of command that is called dd command. Now this dd command is used to handle whenever you want to clone any of these devices. So instead of using cat command, I can use dd command. So to clone a device, you can use dd. So the syntax is dd if is equal to /sda of /dev/sdb. This defines that it is an input device, and OF defines that it is an output device. So these are the various way of redirecting your output. So either redirect output to a file, or use redirection of std in, or separating SDER from SDD out, or you redirect output to device file, or you clone device using output redirection. Then the next command is find command. This command can be used to find the files based upon any property the file may have. So in order to search the file based upon their file property, such as their name, you want to have that access, creation or modification date, the user who created them, or the permission which is set on the file, you can use the find command. So we'll see some examples with find command. So in order to locate the file created by user Linda, I'll be using the command find, and since I am searching right from the root directory, I'll be using slash. So that defines I have to search right from the root directory. Then I'll be defining I want to search user Linda, so I'm giving hyphen user and my username is Linda. So if it is some other user, you can give that username rjcit, so it can be find slash hyphen user rjcit. Similar way, you can also find any file which is less than 3 days old. So I'll be using the command find slash, I'll use hyphen m time, and since it's less than 3 days old, I'll give -3. And in case I want to find a text file less than 3 days old and I want to search all the text files, so I'll be using find, and I'm using a dot here. So now dot here will define me defines the current working directory, but if in case I'm using slash, that defines I am searching from the root directory. So I'll use dot, and I've given hyphen name, and since I want to search all the text file, I'll give asterisk dot txt, and I want to find less than 3 days old, so I'll give hyphen m time -3. So since it's less than 3 days, so I'll use -3. Next example is finding file having size larger than 10,000. Okay, so I'll be using hash. The hash is already the prompt, so I'll use find dot, so that is the current working directory. Then I'll define the size of the file, and it would be 10,000 K. So that is the end of this find command. So now we will move on to the next chapter, that is performing daily system administration tasks. So in this we are going to discuss how the administration task like to manage process, to manage mail, to manage the cron job, all are discussed in this chapter. So starting right from the beginning, we'll define what is a job. So job is basically a process which is running or which is running in the back, like so there are different commands which we execute, and you can find out that some commands may take some command may execute in a shorter span of time, others may take a long time to get executed. So if you find such a command which is taking a longer time and you feel that command can be executed at the background, you can do this by using ampersand sign at the end of the command. So one of the example is make waters. Now this make waters is a command which is used to update a database used by this man k command. So what is it? Man k is, man is actually the manual file used in Linux. So you can have make water as ampersand. So this update would run in the background. So in order to run this process in background, I'll be just adding ampersand sign at the end of the command. So whenever a process is being run in the system, every process will have a job number, it will have a unique process identification number, so that is defined as PID, and these all things are being assigned for a process to run in the background, and using this PID number you can manage the background jobs. Some of the commands to manage the foreground and background job. So if in case your process or job is running and you want to pause it and you want to put it in foreground or background, so first you need to is pause the job. So to pause the job, you'll be pressing Ctrl Z. So you'll be pressing Ctrl Z. Second thing is that if you want to start a pause job as a foreground job, then I'll be using FG command. In order to start the job as background job, I'll be using BG command. If in case I want to list all the current jobs which are running, then I'll be using jobs command. So that defines how you can manage foreground and background job. Then there are other commands which is used to manage a process. Already I have told you PS command, which will show all the current processes which are running in the system. Now in case I want some of the system to end or I want to stop that process, then I'll be using kill command. So kill command will send a signal that I'm stopping it. Then if I'm using PS tree command, this command will give me an overview of all the processes, including the relationship between the parent and their child process. Then there is another command called kill all. This is used to kill all the process based on the name of the process. So given the name of the process, the entire process would be kill. Then if I want to display the overview of current system activity, then I'll be using top command. So ps kill, ps tree, kill all, and top command. So we'll check how to work with ps command. So as I told you, ps command is used to find out what a specific process is doing on a server. So two useful ways of or use of ps command are, I can use either ps afx or I can use ps aux command. So ps afx, PSAFX returns a tree-like overview of all the current process, whereas PSAUX returns the usage information for every process. So if I want to show a tree-like structure, we'll see in the next slide. So I have executed the command PSAUX, and you can check here, it is showing me a tree-like structure right from the beginning root directory, and it is showing me all the threads of the process. So there is a process ID, and the tree like structure of process is defined by using command PSAFX. Then the next command is PSAUX. Now if I'm using this command PSAUX, you can see that it is listing me the number of process along with some definition like user, process ID, percentage of CPUs, percentage of memory, VSZ, that is virtual memory usage, RSS, TTY, stat, and the commands. So we'll define what are this in the next slide. So going for the first is user. Now when you talk about user, it defines the name of the user whose identity is used to run the process. Like if you are a root user, then root user, or if it's a username, then that username would be displayed. Then there is a PID that defines the process identification number, that is a unique ID given for individual process that is running on the system. Then we have percentage of CPU, so that defines the percentage of CPU cycle used by the process. Percentage memory, that defines the percentage of memory used by the process. And VSZ defines the virtual memory size, that is the total amount of memory that is claimed by a process. So overall it means the total memory which is being allocated, and it may require additional memory if in case it is in running mode and it needs more. Then we have RSS, that is resident memory size, that is a total memory that is the process is actually using. Then we have TTY, that defines the terminal on which the device is currently running. So already we have seen there are TTY to TTY12. Then we have STAT, that is the status of the process. So there are three different states. S, it defines it is a sleeping process. R, it defines it is a running process. And Z, it defines it's a zombie state. So it is about to die. So that's in a zombie state. Then we have a start, so that defines the time the process has started. And then we have a time command. The time defines the second the process has used the CPU cycle, the time it has taken, or the cycle which it has taken in seconds, that is defined by time. Command, this command is used, this will define the command which has been used to start this particular process. So if the name of the file is between the bracket, then it defines it's a kernel process. So you can check here how it is shown here. So you have a user, that is a root. Then we have a process ID given here. You can see it is all individually. Percentage of CPU used, memory used, the virtual memory space, the residential memory area. You can see the terminals used here. Then you can check whether it is in the sleeping state or it's in the zombie state. Then when it is started, the time of CPU utilization, and the command which initiated this. And you can check here, this bracket sign shows that it is a kernel command which is running this process. So this defines how the process is running in the system. So that's the end of the session today. Thank you.